Okay, let me explain the X thing. I'm sorry, I didn't get back to that. They're running out of time to make an X dividend date. Let me explain what X means. It's EX, EX dash dividend, X dividend. I think the last hope for this is going to be at the November 8th meeting. The quarterly earnings call that we'll be doing, the end of fiscal year 2023. Sorry, here we go again.
Sorry. Sound effects. We're professional here, folks.
I know. It's so terrible. What X dividend means, folks, is that is the last day that the recording agent for a given publicly traded stock will calculate who are the current owners of, in this case, Disney shares. What that means is that, okay, as of, for example, if Disney were to declare a dividend tomorrow on October 10th, Tuesday, October 10th, they will say, we are going to pay 10 cents a share for every Walt Disney Company stockholder as of the X date. And the X date might be October 31st. It might be Halloween night. That means that anybody, as of the close of the stock market, the close of fiscal business on October 31st, whoever owns a share of Disney stock on that day is entitled to receive a dividend. So in other words, in theory, if you wanted to buy shares of Disney stock that morning on Tuesday, October 31st, should that be the X dividend date, and then sell it the next day on November 1st, you'd still get a dividend, even if the dividend would not be paid for another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month. It doesn't matter. That's the X dividend date. That is the recording date. So whoever owns Disney stock as of that date gets the dividend. We are running out of precious time for that X dividend date to be declared before the end of the calendar year. Usually when stock dividends are declared, they're declared weeks before the X. So, I mean, if Disney is going to do this, it's got to be coming up. I think, especially now with Nelson Peltz coming in with this giant fist and Mickey Mouse's bunghole, let's be obvious, okay? I think,
shucks.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I think that Disney is absolutely, positively going to have to announce, if they didn't already plan it, and I think they probably did. I think this was Bob Iger's and the current interim CFO's idea for some time, that the dividend announcement would come during the earnings call on November 8th. I guarantee it. Or it may be announced a day or two before that earnings call. Disney has got to go into this earnings call, especially now, with some positive news, right? There's not much positive news right now. That's the problem. Everything is going in the shitter. Let's be frank.
Oh, Shirley, you kid. Elemental had like 3 billion views, remember?
Yeah. Elemental, well, we were talking about that earlier, Pro. Elemental had 26 million plus views in the same measurement capacity.
And that was just in Rhode Island.
in the same capacity globally that Disney tracked with Loki at 10.9 million, Ahsoka at 14 million, and Little Mermaid at 16 million. The biggest thing on Disney Plus right now besides Bluey, apparently this year, is Elemental.
Shoo.
People love it. Except in theaters. They don't love it there.
Yeah, well, it legged out better than we expected it to, but
it still lost money.
It did, but Disney Plus can hang their hat on the fact that, hey, it did great over here.
Right.
Now,
when it was free, people actually clicked on it for 5 minutes.
Here's the thing, is that what's interesting coming up on this earnings call is that we should really start getting, for the first time, Jonas Pro, some advertising figures for Disney Plus, right? That was the big thing.
I doubt they show those.
I don't mean necessarily show down to the
right.
wire.
They might mention it briefly.
Let me put it this way. If they do not address Disney Plus ad sales on this earnings call, I guarantee you that the next day, one of the biggest things that Wall Street analysts are going to freaking pound on is the fact that they didn't do it. They
No.
turned on
Okay.
advertising. Yeah, they turned on advertising on Disney Plus back in January of this year.
Yeah.
If they do not report figures through this point, year to date, if they do not give the investor audience some semblance of what Disney Plus, forget Hulu.
So
Everybody knows what Hulu is doing. People know what Hulu is doing. ESPN Plus, all that, that's fine. They want to know, what is Disney Plus doing since the ad tier launched? We have gotten diddly poo since the beginning of the year. They had better address this in the November 8th earnings call.
The best indications that we've gotten on this are the average revenue per user. In anywhere that deviates from the actual price of Disney Plus is the actual subscription price of Disney Plus. If it goes up, that means the ad model is working better. But they just did this boon where they're trying to do a promotion for 3 months of Disney Plus for $2 a month, because they are just begging people to get back on there, so they not having another quarter of streaming subscriber losses. But the problem there is that's going to hit them right in the ARPUs, and it's going to lower that number.
That's a terrible sounding phrase. Hit them right,
isn't
in the ARPUs. No, Jonas, you're right. But here's the problem, and let me kind of toss this back at you. The issue I have with this is that from the advertising based tier, considering the number of subs they have on the AVOD side of things versus the PVOD, if we can divvy it up that way. And it's not really AVOD versus PVOD. It's all Disney Plus. But for those people that are subscribing to the premium level versus the advertising-based level, the advertising-based level comparatively to the entire Disney Plus ARPU metric globally is a BB in the bucket, right?
Mm-hmm.
So advertising revenue for what is heretofore year to date for Disney Plus is probably really not that big. My point, Jonas, is that overall in the aggregate ARPU, I don't think it's moving the needle. I don't think it's there enough to move the needle yet. So that's why my contention is that Disney needs to clock this out there. Disney needs to say, excuse me. Disney needs to say definitively, I'm trying, folks, so hard. That's why I've been like downing coffee after the Benadryl. Disney needs to say definitively what that is. They need to break that out. Bob Iger has already guided forward for this earnings call and future earnings calls that they're going to, ESPN is getting cracked out into their own piece. And that's huge, because we don't know totally whether that means ESPN Plus is going with it or not. I don't think it is yet. But Bob Iger also needs to crack out the advertising side of Disney Plus. Screw Hulu, because everybody knows, like I said, Hulu is an advertising-based platform. Right. Disney Plus is not. And advertisers, as our friends out there like Kiss My Grits, big fan and supporter of our channel and Pro's channel, has talked about before, that needs to be cracked out into its own thing. Advertisers want to get onto Hulu.
Yeah.
Disney needs them to want to get onto Disney Plus
because it's a successful streaming service. And I've said a million times, they need to make Disney Plus a premium tier of Hulu instead of the other way around, because they're insane. And that will justify their ridiculous premium cost for Disney Plus, because you can't do one show a month that is a 6-episode show and expect people to do this. And if they're not going to advertise to kids, again, I don't want them to advertise to kids. But I mean, come on, honestly, you've lost Disney Junior. You're about to lose it everywhere else. If you are giving up on advertising to children in your family entertainment company, what are you doing from a fiscal responsibility standpoint?
That's it. I mean, and this is where they're going to have to go. This is going to be the interesting points on November 8th. We collectively, and I'm not just talking about the three of us on screen, but we collectively, the audience out there watching this, the audience out there that consistently supports, damn, here we go again. consistently supports my
It's
channel,
it's
your
okay to
channel,
cry,
Joe's
Valiant. It's
channel,
okay to
I know.
cry.
The audience that consistently supports our channels out there, you guys out there watching, are the ones that make this effective. Jonas and Pro and I can sit here all day till we're blue in the face talking about Disney and financial metrics, and Mike can come on here and talk about financial metrics, and we can cut them down, and we can point out all the flaws, and we can do all this crap 7 days a week, 24 hours a day on here. It doesn't make a damn bit of difference if you guys out there don't watch. It doesn't make a damn bit of difference out there if you guys don't post it, share it, retweet it, Facebook it, hit the like button on the YouTube channel, which, by the way, thank you. We got 1,000 likes on the stream tonight. Thank you all for being out there and watching this. If you haven't hit the like button, do it now. If you haven't shared it yet, do it now. This is what changes things. Believe it or not, this is what gives people like Nelson Peltz the power and the chutzpah to go out there and drive into Disney at the rate that he does and do the things that he does and make this effective change. We need more of this. We desperately need more of this. And it's because of you guys and girls out there watching, doing the things you do and engaging in this. Yes, even sending super chats, hitting the thumbs up button. Like I said, all of that makes a difference. And if you want Disney to get better and stop sucking and go back to what they did 20, 30 years ago when they were still like a real piece of Americana, well, glad you're here. Keep supporting it. Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.